Hello students and welcome back once again. This is your EVS teacher here, and this time I am here with a brand new chapter of NCERT grade 5th, that is Up You Go. Students, today in this chapter we are going to learn and discuss about mountaineering. Students, mountaineering is basically an activity of mountains climbing, and this chapter is about the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, which is situated in your own Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand. And students, the content given in this book is taken from the diary of Sangeeta Arora. She is a teacher from the Kendriya Vidyalaya who was the part of a mountaineering camp in Nehru Institute. Now students, let's learn and discuss that what she wrote in her diary about her experiences of mountaineering. Now students, let's read what she wrote in her diary. So students, she wrote that we were at the mountaineering camp and were very excited. 20 of us were teachers from Kendriya Vidyalayas. There were other women from banks and other institutions also. Today was the second day of the camp. In the morning, as I got out of bed and put my foot down, I screamed in pain. I remembered yesterday's 26-kilometer walk with the heavy rucksack on my back. I was afraid to go back to that steep climb and the rough narrow path. So students, this one is the extract of Sangeeta Arora's diary. And students, this extract is of 2nd February 1984, and in this extract Sangeeta Arora wrote the heading Mountaineering Camp, Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi. So students, Sangeeta Arora wrote that she were at the mountaineering camp along with the 20 teachers from the different Kendriya Vidyalayas, and along with the 20 teachers there were other women also from the different sectors, like from the banks and the other institutions. And students, today was the second day of the camp, means to say on 2nd February 1984 is the second day of the camp of Sangeeta Arora and others women. So students, further Sangeeta Arora wrote that when she woke up in the morning of 2nd February 1984 and when she put her foot down, then she screamed in pain, and then she suddenly remembered that yesterday, means to say on 1st February 1984, she walked almost about 26 kilometers with the heavy rucksack on her back. And now today, means to say on 2nd February 1984, she was really afraid to go back to that steep zigzag climb and rough narrow path. Now students, further Sangeeta Arora wrote that with tears in my eyes, I started walking slowly towards the room of Brigadier Gyan Singh, the director of our adventure course. I was thinking of what I would say to excuse myself from the day's track. Suddenly, I heard his deep voice from behind. Madam, what are you doing here at breakfast time? Hurry up, otherwise you will have to trek on an empty stomach. Sir, I couldn't say anymore. You have came to tell me that you have blisters on your feet, that you cannot walk, isn't it? Yes, sir. That is nothing new. Now, get ready quickly. So students, as we discussed in our earlier slide, that when Sangeeta Arora woke up in the morning of 2nd February 1984, she was suffering from severe pain in her foot. So students, with tears in her eyes, she started walking slowly towards the room of Brigadier Gyan Singh, who was the director of their adventure course. And students, she was continuously thinking that what she would say to excuse herself from that day's track, means to say of 2nd February's track. And students, while she was thinking about the excuse, suddenly she heard the deep voice of Brigadier Gyan Singh from her behind. And the Brigadier Gyan Singh asked Sangeeta that what she was doing at her office at breakfast time. And he also told her that hurry up, otherwise she would have to check on an empty stomach. But students, due to fear, she couldn't say any more except only sir, sir. Now students, and Brigadier Gyan Singh asked Sangeeta that you have came to tell me that you have blisters on your feet and you cannot walk, isn't it? Then she replied, yes sir. But Brigadier Gyan Singh said that is nothing new. Now you have to get up and very quickly. Now students, further she wrote that I hung my head and rushed back to get ready. I had just turned when I heard his voice again. Listen madam, you will lead group 7. You will have to help any member who has difficulty climbing the mountain. You have already been told about the responsibilities of a group leader in the mountains. Students, as after hearing the order from the Brigadier Gyan Singh, while Sangeeta was going back to her tent by hanging her head, suddenly she heard the voice of Brigadier Gyan Singh, and he told to her that today she have to lead the group number 7 and she have to help any member of a group who had difficulty while climbing the mountain. And students, Brigadier Gyan Singh remind her that she already been told about the responsibility of a group leader in the mountains. So today, means to say on 2nd February 1984, she have to lead the group number 7. Now students, here are some questions that you have to answer here. The question number 1 is, have you ever seen the mountains? Have you also climbed a mountain? When and where? So students, in this question you have to answer that have you ever seen the mountains and have you also climbed a mountain? If yes, then you have to answer here when and where. Students, if you ever seen any mountains, then you have to write down here, yes, I have seen the mountains and I have climbed up the mountain also during our vacations to Kashmir or whatever the place you went. Now students, the second question is, how far you walked at one time or how far can you walk? Now students, here in this question you have to answer that if you ever climbed a mountain, then you have to answer that how far you walked at one time or how far can you walk in a mountain. Students, the answer of this question is just for convenience. So students, if you ever climbed a mountain, then you have to write down here, at one time I have walked for 3 kilometers. And students, further you have to write that I can walk for a distance of 10 kilometers. But students, this part of your answer is totally depend on your stamina, that how far can you walk. So you can change it according to your own. Now students, here you have to imagine and think about the paths on the mountains, and you also have to draw a picture. Students, as you already know that the mountains usually have curves, so you have to draw your picture like in this way. Now students, let's read the chapter further, what she wrote in her diary. Group number 7. Group number 7 included girls from Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland. I was the only teacher from Kendriya Vidyalaya in this group. I was happy to meet my new group members. Most of them couldn't speak Hindi well. I still feel bad that after being together for 21 days, I couldn't talk even once with the Khondonvi from Mizoram. She spoke only Mizo, but in our hearts we grew close to each other. Students, as we already learned in our earlier sections that Brigadier Gyan Singh made Sangeeta Arora the group leader of group number 7. So, further, Sangeeta Arora wrote that in group number 7, girls are mostly from Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland, and she was the only teacher from Kendriya Vidyalaya in this group number 7. But yet, she was happy to meet her new group members. And students, further, she wrote that most of them, means to say most of the girls from the other states couldn't speak Hindi well, and she still feel very bad that after being together for 21 days she couldn't speak and understand their languages, except the one girl that is from Mizoram. Her name was Khondonvi, and Khondonvi spoke only Mizo language, means to say the language of Mizoram. And students, ultimately at the last, Sangeeta Arora said that yet the girls from the different states speaks the different language and cannot understand their language, but yet by their hearts they grew close to each other. Now students, again here are some questions to discuss. So the question number 1 is, what do you think about the responsibilities of a group leader? Students, the major responsibilities of a group leader in a mountaineering camp are helping other members of the group, lead the group members, and manage all the needs of the members of a group. Now the second question is, how would you feel if you were made a leader in such a camp? Now students, here in this question you have to imagine that what would you feel if you were made a leader in such a camp? Now students, here this answer is just for suggestion. You can completely change this answer by writing in your own words. So as I said that this answer is just for your convenience or as a hint. So I have already written here that if I were made a leader in such a group, then it would make me feel more confident about myself and I would successfully manage my responsibilities as a group leader. Now students, the question number 3 is, what does a monitor in your class have to do? Now students, here in this question you have to answer that what does a monitor of your class have to do, or what are the basic responsibilities of a monitor of a class. Now students, here as you all know that the monitor of any class usually arranges all the required items that the teacher needs, like chalk, duster, etc. So you have to write down here, the monitor in my class arranges all the required items the teacher needs, like chalk, duster, etc. And the monitor also maintain the discipline in the classroom when the teacher is absent. And the monitor also has the responsibility to check upon any problems among his students and convey it to the teacher. Now students, the question number 4 is, would you like to be the class monitor? Why? Now students, here you have to answer that would you like to be the monitor of your class? If yes, then why? Students, if you like to be the class monitor of your class, then you have to write down here, yes, I would like to be the class monitor, because it would be challenging to do all the tasks and it will make you more confident. Now students, let's read the chapter further. This is an extract of Sangeeta Arora diary of 5 February 1984, and here she gave the heading Crossing the River, and she wrote that we got vitamin C, iron tablets and hot chocolate milk with our breakfast. These were given for strength and to keep us warm in the cold. Every morning there would be a medical checkup We tied our bandages and counted the days left. After an 8-kilometer trek, we reached a river. There was a thick rope tied across the river from one bank to the other. The rope was tightly fixed to pegs or pythons on both the sides. I was feeling nervous. I started thinking what would happen if the rope came out. I was trying to estimate how wide the river was. Now students, further, Sangeeta Arora wrote that now it was the day of 5 February 1984 and today's task was to cross the river, and moreover she wrote that she usually got vitamin C, iron tablet and hot chocolate milk in their breakfast. And students, do you know why these items were given in breakfast? Because these items gives them strength to keep them warm in such an extreme climate. And students, further she wrote that every morning there would be a medical checkup of each member, and then they tied their bandages and counted the days left of their mountaineering camp. Now students, after an 8-kilometer trek, they reached a river where there was a thick rope tied across both the sides of the river from one bank to the other. And further, she said that the rope was tightly fixed to pegs or pythons on both the sides of the river, and today they have to cross the rivers through these ropes. So students, Sangeeta was feeling very nervous and she started thinking that what would happen if the rope came out. And students, due to fear, there were many thoughts that stuck on her mind, like what would happen if the rope came down. And she was also trying to estimate how wide the river was. Now students, further Sangeeta wrote that our instructor tied a rope around his waist and put a sling type of hook in it. He then put the sling on the thick rope tied across the river. Walking through the icy water, he went to the other side. No one was ready to step into the fast flowing river. Everyone was pushing each other to go first. I stood last in the line, hoping that no one would see me. Just then, our instructor came near me with the sling and rope in his hands. I knew there was no escape now. I was ready, but didn't have the courage. Sir could guess my fears. He called out loudly, 3 cheers for Sangeeta ma'am. And before I knew it, someone had gently pushed me into the water. Students, further, Sangeeta said that the instructor tied a rope around his waist and put a sling into it. Now students, do you know what is sling? Sling is generally a kind of hook that the mountaineers usually carry with them while climbing mountains or crossing rivers. So then the instructor put the sling on the tied rope across the river, and then he walked through the icy water and went through the other side of the river. Now it was the time of the members of the group, but no one was ready to step into the fast flowing river, and students, due to fear, each and every member pushing each other to go first. And further, Sangeeta wrote that she stood last in the line, hoping that no one could see her. But students, while she was doing so, just then the instructor went near to her with the sling and the ropes in his hands. And now Sangeeta knew that there is no chance to escape. Now students, she was ready, but she didn't have the courage to cross the river, and her instructor knows it very well that Sangeeta feared a lot. So he called out loudly to other members that they should cheer for Sangeeta ma'am. And students, before Sangeeta could understand anything, someone had gently pushed her into the water. Now students, further she wrote that I felt as if my feet were frozen. I started shivering. My teeth were chattering. I caught hold of the rope and started putting my feet firmly on the river bed. As I walked further in, the river got deeper and slowly the water reached up to my neck. In the middle of the river, I lost my balance and started slipping. I was so scared and felt so cold that the rope slipped from my hands. I started shouting for help. Students, further, Sangeeta wrote that while she was crossing the river, she felt that her feet were frozen, and due to the cold icy water, she started shivering and her teeth were chattering. And further, she caught hold of the rope very tightly and started putting her feet firmly on the river bed. But students, as she walked further in, the river got deeper and slowly the water reached up to her neck. And students, while she was walking further in the middle of the river, she lost her balance and started slipping. And students, she was so scared and felt so cold that the rope from her hands slipped and she started shouting for help. Now students, further, she wrote that I was sure I would be carried away by the river, but no, I found that I was tied with the rope to the sling. Hold the rope, hold the rope. I could hear the shout. I somehow managed to get hold of the rope and pull myself forward. Slowly, with some courage, I reached the river bank. I felt a special kind of happiness as I came out of the water. Happiness on finishing a challenging task. Now, standing on the bank, I was chilling out to the others to hold the rope tightly. I knew that this confidence was a result of facing a challenge with courage. Students, as we learned earlier, that while she was crossing the river, due to cold, the sling from her hands slipped. So she was thinking that she would carry away by the river. But students, she forgot that she was tied with the rope to the sling. And students, just then she heard the voices from her group members who told her that hold the rope, hold the rope. And students, then somehow she managed to get hold of the rope and pull herself forward. And slowly, with some courage, she reached to the river bank. And students, when she reached the river bank, she felt very happy on finishing this challenging task. And students, now reaching on the other side of the bank, she was cheering for the other group members to hold the rope tightly. And students, she knew that this confidence in her was a result of facing a challenge with courage. Now students, here are some questions to discuss. Now let's find out and write. Question number 1 is, what kind of tools are needed for climbing mountains? Students, the tools that are generally required to climb up the mountains are crampons, rope, belay device, harness, ice axe, protection guard, pulley, helmet, gloves, first aid kit, oxygen cylinder, food packets, water bottle, torch, etc. Students, these are the tools that are needed for climbing up mountains. Now students, the next question is, have you ever seen a hook and rope being used for anything else? Where? Now students, here in this question you have to answer that if you ever seen a hook and a rope being used for anything else except for climbing. If yes, then you have to write down here where. Students, I have already given her the answer, but this answer is just for a suggestion. You can completely modify it by writing this answer in your own word. So, as per your convenience, I have written here that yes, I have seen the hook and the rope, and this hook and the rope can be used for drawing water from the well, to pull heavy things up the buildings, in rescuing people in any accident. Now students, the next question is, what else can we use if we want to cross river in the mountains? Now students, in this question you have to answer that What other things can we use if we want to cross a rivers in the mountains? So students, you have to write down here, to cross a rivers in the mountains, we require thick rope, sling and pythons in order to cross a river. Now the next question is, why do we need extra energy on the mountains? Students, we need extra energy especially on the mountains because we climb against the gravitational force. And students, this gravitational force usually pulls us down. And not only this, in fact, we also need to walk on the rough surface. So, in order to balance all these, we need that extra energy on the mountains. Now students, the next question is, have you ever heard of anyone who has done something adventurous? What? Now students, here in this question, you have to answer that, have you ever heard of anyone who has done something adventurous? If yes, then you have to write down what you heard about that person. So students, if you ever heard, then you have to write down here, yes, I have heard. My friend once had gone for scuba diving, which was very adventurous. Now students, here this answer is just for a suggestion. So you can modify it completely or write it in your own words. Now students, the next question is, have you ever done anything adventurous? If yes, tell your class. Write about it in your own words. Now students, here in this question, you have to answer that, have you ever done anything adventurous? If yes, then you have to tell to your class or your friends, and you also have to write about it in your own words. So students, again, this answer is just for your suggestion because this is totally dependent on you, that have you ever done anything adventurous? If yes, then you have to write down here, yes, I once did paragliding, which was a thrilling experience. Being in the clouds was amazing. All the things down seemed so small. Overall, it was an adventurous experience. Students, this is just a suggestion. If you ever done anything adventurous, then you have to write down here, yes, I did. If you don't, then you have to just write down here, no. Now students, let's read the chapter further. Now, here is another extract from Sangeeta's diary. Rock climbing. And the day was 10 February 1984. We had to climb 15 km to reach Tekla village. It was at a height of 1600 meters. Our rucksacks had all that we may need, like food packets, water bottle, rope, hook, plastic sheet, diary, torch, towel, soap, winchester, whistle, glucose, jaggery, chana and some other snacks. We could see fruits and vegetables growing in the steppe fields. We saw Colonel Ram Singh standing on a 90-meter high flat rock with bags and ropes. We had been told to first observe the rock carefully and identify holes, places where we can put our hands and feet. Today I was not going to back out. I stood first in the line. So students, Sangeeta wrote that on 10 February 1984, they had to climb 15 km to reach Tekla village. And students, I hope you all have heard the name of the Tekla village, that is in Maidana of Uttarkashi. And students, this Tekla village was at the height of 1600 meters from the sea level. Further, she wrote that they all had rucksacks in which they carry all the necessary items like food packets, water bottle, rope, hook, plastic sheet, diary, torch, towel, soap, winchester, whistle, glucose, jaggery, chana and other snacks as well. And students, when they moved towards the Tekla village, they could see fruits and vegetables growing in the steppe fields. Further, she wrote in her diary that they saw Colonel Ram Singh, who was standing on a 90 meters high flat rocks with bags and ropes. And students, they had been told by the Colonel Ram Singh to first observe the rock carefully and then identify the holes, means to say the places where they can put their hands and feet. And students, today means on 10 February 1984, Sangeeta was not going to back out like in the task of river crossing, and so she stood first in the line. Now students, further she wrote on her diary that our instructor tied a rope around his waist. He put the sling and held the thick rope which was hanging. He started climbing as if he was running up. I also put my sling, but as I took my first step, I slipped, and there I was swinging from the rope. Keep your body at an angle of 90 degrees while climbing, I heard. Keep your back straight, do not bend. Keeping this in mind, I imagined the rock as flat ground and started to climb up. Again, while coming down, we had to use the rope in a special way called rappelling. I did this with the same fearlessness. The students, further, Sangeeta wrote that their instructor tied a rope around his waist, and then the instructor put the sling and held the thick rope which was hanging, and then the instructor climbing as if he was running up. The students, further, Sangeeta said that she also put her sling, but as she took her first step, she just slipped, and due to this she was hanging from the rope. But students, as soon as this happened, her instructor told her to make an angle of 90 degrees of her body and keep the back straight and do not bend. Now students, after hearing all these things, Sangeeta keep this in mind and she imagined the rock as flat ground and started to climb up. Now students, it was the time coming down from the rock, so they had to use the rope in a special way, that is called rappelling, in order to come down. And students, lastly, she wrote that she did this task with the same fearlessness as she did in the task of river crossing. Now students, here are some questions to discuss. The question number 1 is, have you ever climbed a tree? How did you feel? Were you scared? Did you ever fall? Students, here in this question you have to answer that have you ever climbed a tree? If yes, then how did you feel? Were you scared or not? Or did you ever fall from a tree? If yes, then you have to write down your answer by your own experiences. But as for your convenience, I have already written answer here just as a hint for all of you. The answer is yes, I tried climbing up the tree, which made me feel so scared that I would fall down, but luckily I didn't fall down. I felt really thrilled. So students, if you ever climbed a tree, then you have to write down your answer in this way. Now the second question is, have you ever seen someone climb a small wall? What do you think is the difference between the climbing a wall and climbing a high rock? Now students, in this question you have to answer that if you ever seen someone climb a small wall, then you have to write down here yes. And then further in this question you have to answer that what do you think is the difference between the climbing a wall and climbing a high rock. Students, if you ever seen someone climbing a small wall, then you have to write down yes, I have seen some small children climbing up the small wall. And climbing a small wall doesn't require rope for any accessories, as in the case of climbing a high rock where we require rope, sling, pythons, etc. and many more things in order to climb up a high rock. Now student, here is another extract from the diary of Sangeeta, and the day was 14 February 1984, and the heading, a funny incident. It was evening. Khon Donbi was feeling hungry. We didn't have anything to eat. She jumped over the fence and got into a field. She quickly plucked 2 big cucumbers and came back. Just then a woman came from behind and caught hold of her bag. She started saying something to Khon Donbi in her own language. We couldn't understand what she was saying. Now students, further Sangeeta wrote that It was the evening of 14 February 1984 and there was a funny incident. Now students, let's learn and understand that what was the funny incident. Student, she wrote that on that day, means to say on the evening of 14 February, Khon Donbi was feeling very hungry, but they didn't have anything to eat. So Khon Donbi jumped over the fence of a field and she quickly plucked 2 big cucumbers from the field and came back. But students, as she was trying to came back from over the fence, just then a woman came from behind and caught hold of Khon Donbi's bag, and the woman who hold the bag of Khon Donbi started saying something to Khon Donbi in her own language. But students, Sangeeta said that they couldn't understand what the woman says in her language. Now further, Sangeeta wrote that Khon Donbi was trying to explain in her Mizo language we couldn't understand. I tried to explain in Hindi, but neither of them could understand it. Finally, I folded my hands to say that we were sorry. By then our group had gone far ahead. It was already dark. I thought we had lost our way. Now we were really scared. We couldn't see anything even with our torches. I started sweating even though it was cold. I tightly held Khon Donbi's hand. I called out loudly, "Where are you all? Can you hear me?" My voice echoed in the mountains. We both started to whistle loudly and flash our torches. Probably the group had noticed that we were missing. We heard some whistles at a distance. I understood the signal. We held each other's hand tightly and waited. Khon Donbi felt that we should keep talking. She started singing a Mizo song loudly. After some time, we saw them coming towards us, and at last we were with the group again. Students, as Sangeeta said that Khon Donbi was very hungry, so she jumped over the fence of a field in order to get some cucumbers. But students, while Sangeeta and Khon Donbi doing so, they were caught by the local woman who hold the bag of Khon Donbi as she was trying to jump over the fence again out of the field. So Khon Donbi was trying to explain this woman in her own Mizo language, which the woman couldn't understand. Further, Sangeeta also tried to explain in Hindi, but neither the Sangeeta nor the women understand each other language. Finally, both the Sangeeta and the Khon Donbi folded their hands to say that they felt very sorry. But students, while they were doing so, their group had gone far ahead and it was almost dark, and they thought that they had lost their way. Now they both scared very much because they couldn't see anything even with their torches, and students, due to fear, they started sweating even in cold winters. And so both Sangeeta and the Khon Donbis hold each other hand tightly, and both started to call out loudly in order to find out their group members that, "Where are you all? Can you hear me?" And students, as soon as they shouted these words, then they heard their voice again because their voice echoed in the mountains. Then both the Khon Donbi and Sangeeta started to whistle loudly and flash their torches. Further, she wrote that probably the group had noticed that Khon Donbi and Sangeeta were missing, and so in order to find out them, they heard some whistles at a distance, and students, then their group members gave a certain kind of signal that Sangeeta understand. Then they both held each other hand tightly and waited the group members to came there. Students, further, Sangeeta said that Khon Donbi felt that they both should keep talking in order to come out of their fear. So Khon Donbi started singing a Mizo song loudly, and after some time they saw their group members coming towards them, and finally That's how they managed to join their group again. Now, students, here is a question that is there anyone in your class whose language you do not understand or who doesn't understand yours? What do you do in such a case? Students, if you are going to write your answer in yes, then you have to write down here, yes, there is a friend of mine in the class who doesn't understand my regional language, neither I understand her or his regional language. And so, in order to understand each other language, we convey in the common language which we both know, like Hindi, or we will try to understand what the person is trying to say. Now students, here is the second question. Have you ever lost your way? What did you do then? Now students, here you have to answer that have you ever lost your way to your home? If yes, then what did you do then? Students, if you ever lost your way, then you have to write down, yes, a few times I lost my way to home. Then I called up my father and informed him about my whereabouts. The next question is, why do you think Khon Donbi would have sung loudly? Students, Khon Donbi sung loudly so that the members of their group would find them easily. Now students, the next question is, have you ever seen someone doing something special to get over their fear? What and when? Students, if you ever seen someone doing something special to get over their fear, then you have to write down, yes, I have seen my cousin, my brother, my sister, anyone whom you see. Then you have to write down that he or she closing her or his eyes and shouting loudly out of fear when he or she was on a giant swing or anything. Now students, here is another extract of Sangeeta's diary, that is of 15 February 1984, and she gave the heading to this extract, a special guest. After dinner, we met a special guest, Bachindri Pal. She had just been selected as a part of the team to climb Mount Everest. She had come to seek the blessings of Brigadier Gyan Singh. It was a happy evening. We were all singing. Bachindri Pal also joined us in singing and dancing on the famous Pahadi song Bedu Pako, Baro Masa, Kafal Pako, Cheta Meri Chela. At that time, we had no idea that Bachindri would become the first woman to reach Mount Everest and create history. Students, further, Sangeeta wrote on her diary that on 15 February 1984, after the dinner, they met a special guest called Bachindri Pal. And Bachindri Pal had just been selected as a part of the team to climb Mount Everest. So she came there to seek the blessings of her instructor, Brigadier Gyan Singh. Further, Sangeeta wrote that it was a very happy evening and they all was singing. And finally, Bachindri also joined them, singing and dancing on the famous Pahadi song Bedu Pako, Baramasa, Kafal Pako, Cheta Meri Chela. And the students, further, Sangeeta said that they had no idea that Bachindri is going to become the first Indian woman who reached Mount Everest and created a world history. Now, another extract of Sangeeta's diary is of 18 February 1984, and the heading is Camp in the Snow. We were standing at a height of 2,134 meters. We were to spend the night here. Everyone was busy trying to put up the tent. We used double layer plastic sheets for the tent and for the ground. The air between the layers would help to keep us warm. We put in the packs and began to put up the tent. As we tied it from one side, the wind flew the tent from the other side. After quite a lot of pulling and tugging, we managed to get the tent up. Then we dug a drain around the tent. Students, further, Sangeeta wrote in her diary that it was the day of 18 February and there was a snow in the camp, and they were standing at a height of 2,134 meters from the ground level. So they were to spend the night here at this site, and that's why everyone was busy trying to put up the tent, and they use double layer plastic sheets for the tent and for the ground. And students, do you know they use double layer plastic sheets because the air between these layers act as an insulator that help them keep them warm. Students, then they put up in the packs and begin to put up the tent. But students, as you all know that at the height the air blows very fast, so as they tied it from one side, the wind flew from the other side. So after doing a lot of pulling and tugging, they managed to get the tent up. And students, then they dug a drain around the tent. And do you know why? Because in order to prevent the water from entering the tent. Now students, further Sangeeta said that we were feeling very hungry. We collected some firewood and stones to make a chilla and cooked some food. After the meal, we collected all the waste in a bag to clean the campsite. Soon, we got into our sleeping bags. I was not sure if I would be able to sleep in it. Would it be comfortable? Would I not feel cold? But the bags were filled with soft feathers, which help in keeping us warm. We were all very tired, so very soon we fall asleep. Students, Sangeeta said that they all were feeling very hungry. So after putting the tent up, they collected some firewood and stones in order to make a chilla to cook some food. Then students, after completing the meal, they all collected the waste in a bag in order to clean up the campsite. And then soon they all got into their sleeping bags. But students, as they were got into their sleeping bags, there were many questions in Sangeeta's mind, like that it would be comfortable for her to sleep in it, or would she not feel cold in sleeping bags. Students, further Sangeeta said that as soon as she got into her sleeping bag, she didn't feel cold because the bags were filled with soft feathers that keep her warm. And students, as we all know that they were all very tired, so very soon they all fell asleep. Now students, further she wrote that the next morning we woke up and found that it was snowing. White, soft, fluffy snowflakes were gently falling. Wow, it was so beautiful. The plants, the trees, the grass and the mountains, everything looked white. Today we were to climb higher to 2700 meters. We walked carefully on the snow with the help of the sticks. It was difficult because we kept slipping. By afternoon, we had reached snow-covered mountains. We enjoyed throwing snowballs at each other and making a big snowman. Students, further Sangeeta wrote that on the next morning when they woke up, they found that it was snowing all around them and there was snowfall and everything surrounds them, like the plants, the trees, the grass and the mountains covered with snow. Now students, she further said that now they were to climb higher to about 2700 meters. So they walked carefully on the snow with the help of the sticks. But as soon as they were trying to move forward, they slipped down. And students, somehow by the afternoon they managed to reach the snow-covered mountains. And then after reaching there, they enjoyed throwing snowballs at each other and making a big snowman, as you can see here. Now students, the last extract from Sangeeta's diary is of 21st February 1984 and the heading is Last Day at Camp. We were getting ready for the campfire. Each group presented a program. We were enjoying telling jokes and laughing, singing and dancing around the campfire. Soon it was midnight. Brigadier Gyan got up and called me. I thought, oh no, what have I done this time? But when Sir announced my name for the Best Performance Award, I stood still. He blessed me and tears of joy rolled on my face. Students, further Sangeeta wrote that it was the last day of her camp, means to say 21st February 1984. It was the last day of their camp. So they all were getting ready for the campfire, and students, each group presented a program, and students in this program they telling jokes and laughing, singing and dancing around the campfire. And as soon as Brigadier Gyan Singh called out Sangeeta's name, she was very scared and thought in her own mind that what she had done wrong this time. But students, when Brigadier Gyan Singh announced Sangeeta's name for the Best Performance Award, she stood still and she can't believe in her ears. And then students, Brigadier Gyan Singh blessed her. And after seeing all this, Sangeeta's tears of joy rolled down off her face due to happiness. Now students, here are some questions to discuss. The question number 1 is, why do you think a drain was dug around the tent? Students, as we already discussed this question in your previous section, that they dug the drain around the tent in order to keep off insects, snakes, pesticides and water to enter in the tent. The next question is, besides mountaineering, what are other activities that can be called adventurous and why? Now students, here in this question you have to answer that beside mountaineering, what other activities that you think can be called adventurous and why? Students, besides mountaineering, there were many other activities that we can call adventurous, like paragliding, hiking, rock climbing, bungee jumping, canoeing, etc. Now students, the next question is, imagine that you are on a mountain. How do you feel there? What can you see? What do you feel like doing there? Now students, in this question you have to imagine that you are on a mountain. Then you have to write down that how do you feel there and what do you feel like doing there. Students, here this answer is just for your convenience. You can completely change this answer by writing in your own words. So the answer is, when I am on a mountain during winter, I feel thrilled. I can see the snowfall, all the green trees covered up by snow looking like white tree. I feel like playing in the snow and sliding down the hill. Now students, the next question is, why did Bachendri Pal put up the Indian flag on the peak? Students, Bachendri Pal put up the Indian flag on the peak in honor of our country. Now students, the next question is, when have you seen our national flag being hoisted? Collect information of our national flag. Students, as you all know that our national flag is generally hoisted during the special occasion of Republic Day and Independence Day, and even during the events that are conducted at a school, educational institutions in order to represent the national pride. Students, as you all know that the national flag of our country is a horizontal tricolor of deep saffron at the top, wide in the middle and dark green at the bottom in equal proportion. And students, the ratio of the width of the flag to its length is 2:3, means to say 2:3. And in the center of our national flag there is a navy blue wheel which represents the chakra. Now students, the next question is, have you ever seen the flag of any other country? Where? The students, here in this question you have to answer that, have you ever seen the flag of any other country? If yes, then you have to write down, yes, I have seen the flags of many other countries on the internet, televisions, books, etc. Now students, the last question of this chapter that will help you to understand that what we have learned in this chapter. And the question is, explain why it can be adventurous and challenging to climbing a mountain. How would you prepare if you were to climb a mountain? What would you take with you? Write in your own words. Students, in this question you have to answer that why it can be adventurous and challenging to climb a high mountain, and how would you prepare if you were to climb a mountain, and what would you take with you? Students, as you all know that climbing a mountains involves many challenging tasks or activities which makes us difficult to climb the mountain. And students, by keeping all these activities in the task, we can say that it is adventurous and challenging to climb a mountain. And students, not only this, in fact, to climb a mountain, we have to be strong mentally and physically in order to prepare to face the difficulties which come across our path while climbing a mountain. And students, you can climb a mountain with a lot of practice and willpower. And students, as we discussed many times in the chapter, that in order to climb a mountains, we would require some special kind of mountaineering equipments, medicines, food, first aid kit, oxygen cylinder along with us if we were to climb the mountain. Now students, that's all about your chapter number 9. And with this question here, your chapter number 9 is completed. Now I will be come back soon with another chapter. Till then, stay home, stay safe and stay healthy.